This vaccine is either penetrated through IVF, meant for as well, but Decatos like either penetrated through IVF, meant for as well. Okay. Then link to the video with the description below. Go and check them out. So let's into this vaccine in 3, 2, 1. Let's see what happens.
No one could believe it at first. The doctors kept checking, rechecking, and still the results stared them in the face.
Yeah.
A man was pregnant. Not some futuristic sci-fi experiment.
Wow. Cute baby bump.
Not a prank, not a dream, but real. And the man in question, Landon Crowley, was in shock. How could this even happen? What had gone so wrong, or so right, that he was carrying life inside him? From the moment he stepped into the clinic for a routine follow-up,
Really cute baby bump. Yeah.
Landon felt something strange. He was there to support his wife, Maren Harper, who had been undergoing
Yeah.
IVF treatments for months to try to start their family. But a routine visit turned into a medical mystery that no one saw coming. Landon and Maren had been married for 8 years, living a quiet life in Portland. Maren, a soft-spoken pediatrician, had always dreamed of being a mother, while Landon, a freelance graphic designer, loved the idea of building a family, but never imagined he'd one day be at the center of a story that would leave doctors speechless. They had tried everything: adoption, fertility treatments, multiple rounds of IVF. The couple was exhausted emotionally, financially, and mentally. Yet hope never died. Maren had recently completed her egg retrieval and fertilization process, and they were expecting the embryos to be implanted into her. That was the plan, or so they thought. It started subtly. Landon began feeling unusually tired. He had mild nausea that he attributed to stress. Then came the bloating. At first, he ignored it, thinking
Yep, that's a baby bump.
he'd eaten too much or was just out of shape. But then his body started changing in ways he had never experienced. Strange hormonal shifts, unexpected mood swings, and even an unexplainable tenderness in his abdomen. By the second week, Landon noticed something that made him stop
Yep, that's a baby bump. 100% a baby bump. Yeah.
in his tracks. His belly was growing. He laughed it off at first, joking to Maren that he had developed a food baby. But deep inside, a knot of worry had formed. This wasn't like any bloating he'd experienced before. Something was happening, and it wasn't ordinary. When Landon went to the clinic, the doctors were polite but skeptical.
That's a baby bump for real, yeah.
Let's just run a few standard tests, they said. We're sure it's nothing serious. But as the days passed, the test results became harder to dismiss. Blood work showed elevated pregnancy hormones, HCG, progesterone, estrogen, all levels far beyond what would be considered normal for any man. Dr. Vickers, the lead reproductive endocrinologist, furrowed his brows as he examined the reports. I've been doing this for over 20 years,
Over 20 years? Wow, that's a long time.
he murmured to his assistant. And I've never seen anything like this. The medical team performed ultrasounds, repeated lab tests, and even genetic screenings, trying to find some explanation. Every result confirmed the impossible. Landon Crowley was pregnant. Word of the anomaly spread quietly among the staff. Some whispered about lab errors. Others thought it might be a rare hormonal disorder. But as Dr. Vickers dug deeper, something even stranger surfaced. The IVF lab had recently undergone a staffing shuffle, and Maren's embryos had been carefully frozen, labeled, and stored. But there had been a brief period of confusion with the medical records. Could it be? Could the embryo have been implanted, somehow, into Landon? Landon sat nervously in the clinic, trying to wrap his head around the concept. It's impossible, he said to Maren, who was holding his hand tightly. I can't carry a baby. I'm a man. Maren, pale and quiet, squeezed his hand. I know, but the doctors are saying that something unprecedented has happened. Something beyond science, or maybe a mistake in science. Days turned into weeks. Landon's belly continued to grow, and the doctors decided to keep the case confidential, at least until they understood what was happening. Meanwhile, every test, every scan, and every consultation made Landon feel more like he was living in a surreal dream. Weeks of
So we
confusion and
can.
impossible test results finally led Landon and Marin to Dr. Vickers' office. The tension in the room was thick, almost unbearable. Landon's hands trembled as he gripped Marin's, waiting for the truth. Landon, Marin, Dr. Vickers began, his voice careful but urgent. We've finally traced everything. What I'm about to tell you is extraordinary, rare, and it involves a misunderstanding that nobody could have predicted.
Yeah.
Landon leaned forward. Please, just tell us what's happening. Dr. Vickers took a deep breath. During your IVF treatment, Landon, we discovered something unusual in your body. You have uterine-like tissue, a rare condition where the body develops a structure capable of carrying an embryo. At the time, we recommended a therapy to explore this tissue for medical purposes,
Yeah.
and you consented, thinking it was purely for testing and treatment. Landon frowned. Right? That's what I thought the treatment was for. Dr. Vickers nodded. Exactly. But here's where it gets complicated. When Marin's fertilized embryos were ready for implantation, a miscommunication occurred in the clinic. The team misunderstood the
Really?
medical record and assumed you were the intended recipient because of your uterine-like tissue. They thought the therapy you were receiving meant you wanted the embryo implanted in your body.
Oh,
Marin
yeah.
gasped. So, they put the embryo in him by mistake? Yes, Dr. Vickers said gently. You had no idea. You thought the procedure was part of your therapy. The medical team acted on a misunderstanding. But because of your unique uterine-like tissue, your body accepted the embryo. That's why all the tests later showed pregnancy hormones and why ultrasounds revealed a growing baby inside you. Landon's eyes widened, his
Wow.
voice barely a whisper.
Congrats.
So, I'm carrying our child, and I
Yeah.
didn't even know? Dr. Vickers smiled softly. Yes, medically unprecedented, biologically rare, but it happened. Your body carried life in a way no one could have anticipated, and it was all due to a combination of your unique anatomy and a dramatic misunderstanding in the clinic. For a long moment, silence filled the room. Then Marin squeezed Landon's hand, tears brimming. Our dream, it came true, in the strangest way possible.
Yeah.
Landon exhaled slowly, a mixture of shock, awe, and relief flooding him. Life really does have a way of surprising us, he whispered. The couple left the office in stunned silence.
Could be bum.
The
Yeah.
reality of it all began to sink in slowly. Landon
Yeah.
felt an unexpected surge of love, fear, and anxiety. Could he actually give birth? Would the baby be healthy? What would society say? As soon as they stepped inside their home, Landon's hands trembled and his voice cracked with frustration.
Be- That's a could be bump. Yeah.
Marin, we need to talk about this seriously. Um, I'm thinking of suing the hospital. They misunderstood everything. They did something to me that no one could even imagine. They've made things worse for me, and it's terrifying. Marin took
Really?
a deep breath and gently cupped Landon's face. I know, love. I know it feels overwhelming. But we've wanted a baby for so long. Maybe this is how life decided to surprise us.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not a
True.
mistake, but a chance. A blessing we never expected.
Yeah.
Landon shook his head, tears welling up. A blessing. I don't know if I can see it that way yet. It's so strange, so unreal. Marin smiled softly, her eyes filled with warmth. I know it's scary, but think about it.
Yeah.
We've always wanted this family. And now, somehow, life has brought us exactly what we wished for,
Yeah.
even if it came in a way no one could imagine.
True.
Maybe this is the best thing for us, Landon. Maybe this is our miracle. Landon looked down, letting the words sink in, then slowly nodded. Okay, maybe, maybe we can take it positively. Maybe this really is our miracle. I guess we'll see. They sat together on the couch, hands intertwined, hearts racing, minds still full of fear and wonder.
Yeah.
But slowly, hope began to bloom amidst the chaos of the impossible. Months passed. Landon underwent regular checkups. Each ultrasound revealed a healthy baby, growing steadily, while the doctors carefully monitored the unusual pregnancy. Friends and family were cautiously supportive, though many were skeptical
That,
and
yeah.
curious.
That's.
Finally, after 9 long months, the day arrived.
Oh.
Landon was wheeled into the delivery room, flanked by Marin and a team of specialists prepared for the unprecedented. The tension in the room was palpable. Even experienced doctors whispered under their breath, unsure of what they might encounter. And then, with a combination
Oh, could be.
of medical expertise, patience, and a touch of sheer luck, the baby was born, a healthy, crying infant with Marin's eyes and Landon's warmth. The room erupted in controlled celebration.
Oh,
For the first time, Landon allowed himself to smile fully, tears streaming down his face as he held his child. Landon and Marin's story became one of hope, science, and the unpredictable ways life works. It reminded everyone that sometimes miracles happen in ways we can't understand, and love
true.
finds a path even when the rules of nature seem absolute. Medical professionals learned from the case. Researchers studied it for years, and the couple, now parents, dedicated themselves to raising their child with gratitude for the extraordinary journey that brought them together. And for
Yeah,
Landon, every time he held his child close, he whispered to Marin, "I never imagined I'd carry life inside me. But now I know that love can create miracles we never even dreamed of."
yeah, true that.
What would you
Yeah,
do if life surprised you in a way no one could imagine? Could this be a blessing in disguise? Share your thoughts in the
yeah. For me, I would say it's a blessing. Yeah.
comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hype the video.
Wow, there was either pending to IVF mean for as well, but that got tossed. The link to the video will be the description below. Go and check them out and drop a like if you like, and comment below if you want to see more reaction like this one. And subscribe if you're new, include the bell so you can be notified for a minute below in my bot. Wow.